down at Wembley, but it's the York Knights who are going to get us off and underway this evening. They're the team kicking off the home side. The referee tonight is Liam Moore, and the video referee is James Vello. So a very good look to both of them as York get us off and underway straight away under the lights here at the LNER Stadium, and York finding the 10-metre line or thereabouts for Warrington to bring the ball forward from.
Well, there's a little battle as well to keep an eye on through the centre of the field. The old bull against the young in Paul Vaughan against Liam Byrne. Liam Byrne just picking him out straight away. And Luke Yates now just trying to get over the 30 here.
This is the first time, of course, that Paul Vaughan has met up with his old teammates. So a lot of eyebrows were raised, Kyle, weren't they, when the decision was made for him to make the switch over here to York Knights. But I can tell you that when I was down in the tunnel earlier, as soon as Paul Vaughan walked in, he went straight into the Warrington dressing room to see some old friends, and it was all handshakes and hugs. So clearly no animosity between the two sides, apart from when the ball is kicked off.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Vaughan, 78 appearances in his 3-season stint for the Wolves, 9 tries to his name as well, and you know, so far wearing the yellow and black, he's shown up pretty well. He's been good in that middle part of the field, along with Paul McShane, another old head, as York just start to feel their way into the game in their opening set.
David Nofaluma on the ball, 2 tries on debut, having found himself here coming from Halifax, of course. Great news earlier this week that Halifax are being rescued, of course, and will play rugby league again. We wish them all the very best as far as that's concerned. Tau Mata'afa now just over the halfway line and inside Warrington territory, as Mark Sneed uses all his experience to try and stay in the tackle and yet get himself out of the tackle, so to speak. Oh. This is a big, long, high one here, and York just about have it back, and Vaughan takes hold of the loose ball. The referee has eventually called held out.
A little bit of miscommunication out the back there from Warrington. You'll see that sequence so often from York. Mata'afa play 4, and then a high kick from Harris. The ball bounces in no man's land, and Warrington are able to deny Paul Vaughan a chance of offloading that ball.
I was having a chat last week with Paul Cook as we were doing the Bradford Bulls versus Toulouse game, and he was talking about how he thinks that Warrington are playing a lot more through the middles these days, and that may well be the influence of Steve McNamara, who we just saw on the coach's bench there alongside Sam Burgess. So it'll be interesting to see how much of an influence he's going to be having on this Warrington team as the ball comes loose right on the centre line.
It was Liam Byrne with the offload there. Wasn't quite measured. Walker now with half a chance.
A decent run from Danny Walker. Takes 2 or 3 York Knights players to eventually get hold of him as Williams picks it up from dummy half, and now Mark Sneed with the first big kick into the corner on a real tester for Mata'afa, who's played it well. It's Nofaluma in actual fact who's picked up that ball just on the 10-metre line.
A decent kick in the end there after that little loose ball from Liam Byrne. Just puts Nofaluma in that corner box, that 10-by-10 box that so often teams like to finish the set in. There's an error here. Big opportunity for Warrington.
That was a loose one, wasn't it?
It was Decal Williams.
The best pass out from McShane, which is uncharacteristic from him.
Yeah, it was the centre coming round for his carry, and he just takes his eye off the football, spills it. And a real opportunity here for Warrington. Fraser, 15 metres out, the first chance, the first opportunity to put a set play on.
It's a real gift, isn't it?
Just look at the numbers here. They've loaded up that left-hand side, 4v3. York have yet to make the switch.
Well, maybe they haven't seen it, but it's come out on that loaded side down the left flank. George Williams with his hands on the ball, finding Yates. Yates going for the line himself, just a few metres short now as Warrington start to pile on the pressure. Walker gets it short, and it comes in through to the middle for Liam Byrne. Byrne a couple of metres out now. Walker again, scampering away to his left-hand side, trying to turn a short ball through. Sneed down the line, Walker back inside for Sam Stone. Sam Stone going for the line, and he's got the ball down. That's Warrington's first try. Sam Stone with a show and go and a push through the line to get the first try for Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, some poor defence there, really. You know, they were working so hard underneath the ball, and it was the slight change of angle from Stone, but he gets in between two would-be defenders, Fraser, and then Mataafa, if he had his time again, I'm sure he'll look back on this and know that he perhaps has to do better. You know, he'll be challenging those two defenders in front of him, of course, but he's able just to get rid of Mataafa. The ball comes out to the right-hand side. Williams with a wonderful drop-off. Paul Vaughan backing off. Martin trying to get in there. They have 3 chances there, Fraser, and that's disappointing because Mark Applegarth's men in 2026 have been able to answer an awful lot on their line, but the first chance, the first opportunity presented by Nical Williams' error results in 4 points.
It was a lovely body swerve, wasn't it, from Sam Stone, which really put the defence on the back foot for his first Super League try of the season. He's fitting in very nicely at Warrington these days. 38 tackles he put in against Wakefield last week. So a real workhorse of a player. A former teammate, of course, at Salford of Mark Sneyd. And Mark Sneyd with 14 goals in total in all competitions so far for Warrington. And from this angle, you'd expect him to make it 50.
Yeah, well, for sure it is. You know, he kicked 5 from 6 last week and the drop goal. And that one goes straight through the H's. It's a disappointing start for York. It really is. The first opportunity, the first test on goal line. And this is what comes up, a simple drop-off in between 2 big men in Martin and Vaughan, and then Mataafa just gets bumped off. Take nothing away from Sam Stone, but he doesn't look happy with that.
York looking for their first win against Warrington since they beat them 14-13 way back in 1981. It's been a long, long time since York tasted victory. They've done it 2 from 3 so far in Super League, taking points off both sides. As Walker has it for the visitors. Down the line it comes. Paul Vaughan getting involved in the tackles there, and I mentioned there'll be no lack of loyalty for him tonight. He'll be putting his body on the line as usual. Walker again. Nice kick in towards the corner. This will be a little bit of a tester. Mataafa comes away with it. Bouncing off tackles. They're hunting in packs here, the Wolves, and trying to push him closer and closer to the goal line and steal an extra couple of metres back. Yeah, it's great work from Ben Curry. Just stiffening up that middle third of the field there when Mataafa has no room to go. Decent bit of contact, and the Wolves now go hunting. But just with ball in hand there, Fraser, the last couple of players in that set, far too quick for York. Home side in possession. Harrison in with a tackle along with Byrne and Sneyd. As Puate lines himself up just behind the line here. That's the 5th tackle comes in, and York with Harris knock it long. Tester for Kai Taylor-Ray again, and he finds Stulis. Jesse D involved in the tackle, back in the side tonight after missing the last couple. Picked up a slight knock in the game against York. Scott Galliano also missing tonight after he picked up a groin injury. He is fit again, but Mark Applegarth deciding to lead him out this week. Ata Hingano is not far away either. He could be back next week for the York Knights. The drop goal hero against Hull KR, of course, in week 1.
Yeah, but it's not only that, it's what Ata Hingano can do and create that perhaps York just missed. I mean, Danny Richardson had a fine game last week, and Liam Harris in there, probably his best game for York, as Warrington look to move the ball to this left-hand side, and they've got numbers here.
There's some space here on the overlap if they can find it. Warrington Wolves, it's a smashing way through from Josh Smith, shaking off the tackles as he gets within a few metres of the line. Everybody away to his right-hand side now as Sneyd rolling the ball out into the 10-metre line again. Curry just brings it back as Williams now looking for the long ball out wide to the corner. It comes off the hands of Thulis over in the corner, but the referee is saying that is a second try for the Warrington Wolves.
It is, and it was a wonderful pass from George Williams, a pop pass. But just as good as that pass was, Kai Taylor-Ray he's able, at speed, to deliver a cut-out ball to his winger. Just watch the little pop pass there. And then that ball at speed over towards Thewlis, who dives over in the corner, and it's just all too quick. There's an opportunity there for Nico Williams to launch his body into the winger. He can only get two hands to him. It's a fine start from the Wolves. Too quick.
It was a juggling job from Thewlis, but managed to get hold of the ball and dab it down, and 2 tries inside the opening 10 minutes, and Sam Burgess will be very happy with the way his side have started.
Yeah, they certainly will. Mixing the players up well at the moment, breaking it down on short leads and then testing out the back. On that occasion, they're able to create that extra number. The pass from Taylor Ray, the 20-year-old, was exquisite. Wasn't quite on the money, but Thewlis had enough time to juggle it and put it down. With Mark Sneed here with 18 metres away and about a metre in. Difficult kick.
As per usual, with his back to goal as he starts his kicking routine. And he's just pulled that one a shade. But even so, 10 minutes on the clock, 10 points to nil in favour of Warrington. Yeah,
well, the speed of the play of the ball means that the York defence just can't get back. And then the extra number there. Kai Taylor-Ray disguising himself initially on the inside of Williams-Fraser. Pops up and creates that 3v2 and the cut-out ball to the winger, and then the put-down makes it 10-0 inside the opening 11 minutes.
Sam Burgess' side, as I say, 2 wins from 2 so far, beating St Helens and Wakefield last week, of course. This is their first game away from home. Perhaps looked a little bit scratchy at times in conceding some of the tries against Wakefield.
Yeah, but there's some worrying signs here. Thewlis has just skirted across 4 defenders and found the middle of the field. Shouldn't be able to be doing that. Byrne. Good carry again, just gets rid of the first man, plays it quick, and they're off again here.
Walker is so quick, moving out of dummy half. Setting up wave after wave of Warrington attack. Here he is again, plays it short this time for Harrison. Curry was waiting, but might get another chance here. Goes on the opposite side this time. Sneed gets the kick towards the corner. Everybody flying up for that ball, but York have come up with it. Yeah, it's a little bit of settler.
It's a neat set after points, Fraser. Turning the ball over again in that 10-by-10 box that I mentioned earlier on. This time it's on the left-hand side as York look to move the ball.
Long looping pass over the top. As Holyfield goes down in the tackle. It's Nico Williams. Liam Byrne effecting part of the tackle along with Hopoate. I'm still getting used to seeing Liam Byrne in a Warrington jersey. It just looks a little bit strange, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he's around 160 games for the Cherry and Whites of Wigan, and Harris there with a kick that doesn't really trouble Warrington at all. He tries for a clearing kick, but we've already seen in 26 he's not really got the power behind it to turn that kick into a good one.
3 in the tackle there on Hopoate. As Thewlis brings it back inside for Toby King. Walker just behind him. Up in the other game, Lee have gone 6 points to nil up in their match. This is brought forward again by Liam Byrne. Right to the left-hand side, Sneed, short pass again, Williams, Kai Taylor-Ray. Kai Taylor-Ray still going here, racing for the corner, and he ghosted his way through the York Knights defence there as if they didn't exist.
Well, look, it took some finishing, didn't it? And we picked him out before the game. The speed of this young man is a real joy to watch, it really is. And again, it was just direct carries, loose defence, too quick. The Wolves just physically a level above their opposition, and then in the end it's the explore the left-hand side of the field. And Kai Taylor-Ray, truth be told, he has a number of options to pick from, but he decides to do what all good fullbacks do and just takes a run, takes a stab at it. Sam Wood with a weak effort, and Kai Taylor-Ray just gets in between Harris and Wood, and the speed of the young man Again, it's great to watch.
Like a hot knife through butter.
That's 2 tries to his campaign already.
Well, we did say, didn't we, how big a pair of boots he was having to fill with Matt Duffy having played such an important role at Warrington over the last couple of years. But the 20-year-old has taken on that role very, very nicely indeed.
Yeah, but he brings a bit more of a calmness. You always felt with Duffy that you could get an outstanding performance and then the next week you could get something at the total opposite end. But with this young kid, he looks like he's going to be one for the future, make no mistake about it. A bright start he's had, of course, made his debut in 2024, but limited opportunities. Well, this is his 3rd start at fullback tonight as Sam Burgess has tipped his cap to him.
He missed 24 games last season due to that hamstring injury that he had. As, this time Sneed does push it through the uprights.
Again, just that little picture as they restarted off the 2nd try with Ulis, who was able to carry towards the middle of the field. And I mention that because it's just not a committed defensive line, and you see some lunging and grabbing at shirts rather than putting your bodies in front. Kai Taylor-Ray just slices open the right edge defence. It's 16-0.
Scoring at the rate of more than a point a minute in these early stages. Warrington Wolves, who look like they've come here on a real mission and showing absolutely no mercy to the opposition in these early stages as Hopoate brings it over the 20-metre line for Warrington.
Again, Fraser, just look at the bodies.
It's just so quick.
Yeah.
It is so quick from Warrington. And I do think that, given the fact that we've had these edicts from the refereeing department about speeding up the play of the ball and then the ruck, and also tackles being held quicker, that some teams have realised that they're going to have to play quicker in order to really capitalise on those rules and cause problems for the opposition. And Warrington look like they're one of the teams that can do that.
Well, what it does expose is it exposes perhaps sort of weaker defenders, smaller defenders in the middle. And you've got some age out there for York. You know, you've got Paul McShane, Paul Vaughan, Jordan Thompson, all perhaps in the twilight of their career, having to compete against a hungry Warrington side. And this man should have a bit of punch off the bench in Xavier Vart. The Wolves deal with him well there.
But it is rolling out almost too far for McShane to try and pick up the ball there, but he certainly managed to do it in the end. Harris will hoist this one up to the corner. It's a little bit of a tester for Josh Smith, but he's done well to collect that one and return it. King twisting and turning, and eventually dumped down in the tackle. Walker again, quickly to receive the ball from Ben Curry. Sneed's kick, looking for the corner. It's gone out into touch there.
Looking for a 40-20, but it's about 5 metres short. He came off his boot a bit awkwardly.
I did have to think twice about what he was trying to do there, because he was behind the 40, but that's well short. It's not quite the right angle.
Well, he's kicked so many of them in his career, hasn't he, Fraser? Xavier Vart just getting his 2nd touch of the ball here. McShane having a look down this left-hand side.
Well, Mark Sneed is 5th on the all-time Super League points scoring chart, so that gives you a good indication of how good he is with the boot. York to the halfway line with Vaughan. McShane, Thompson with quick hands again. As York try and feed it through and find themselves some work through the middle with Jesse D. As Thompson, it's almost a poor ball, but Richardson has done well there to find Ollie Field. Shane again, Richardson with a high one this time. They're chasing back after it, they've picked up the loose ball. Nikhil Williams has got away from his marker. Eventually he is challenged, and it looks as though York are going to get the ball back here.
Yeah, it's another kick from backfield that Warrington failed to deal with. It comes up into the arms of Matt Harper. He gets a little bit of luck there. Nico Williams gets rid of Thewlis, and then Thewlis coming over the top there, just catches him high. And our first opportunity here for the home team. Paul Vaughan now.
Al Vaughan would love to score against his old side, but they've managed to keep him at bay early on. Xavier Var, couple of metres short, just held up by the Warrington defence. McShane waits again, looks as though he might go for it himself, hands it off to Vaughan. Vaughan trying to twist his way through, denied, just short again. McShane goes to his right once more, high ball over the top here for Ben Jones-Bishop to go running at the corner. Ben Jones-Bishop somehow manages to smash his way through the Warrington defence, and the York Knights are back in the game.
Well, I mentioned a couple of players heading towards the twilight of their career, but there's nobody out there who's as old and as experienced as Ben Jones-Bishop. He scored a try last week and he's just bagged another one. 47 years old and still going. And this is how it all came about. The Wolves' inability to deal with the kick, the penalties given away, and York are able at their first opportunity, a wonderful ball over the top from Harris. And this took some finishing, Fraser, it really did. He beats off 4 people before he's able to slam that ball down. 1, 2, Harris, Ray and Toby King for good measure at the end there, but it's a wonderful score. Piece of individual brilliance there from Ben Jones-Bishop. He doesn't really have the right to score that, but he gets over.
I was about to say, from that position with all the people in front of him, that's a piece of magic that he's managed to get his way through there.
Yeah, again, he has no right, and he gets rid of some decent defenders in there. James Harrison, Taylor Ray, of course, at the back. Danny Richardson with a kick here. You felt it, well, not that you felt, it was so important that York scored next. Otherwise, this game could have been gone dead and buried.
They're not quite out of it yet. Danny Richardson now with a chance to add the opportunities. Comes off the crossbar and just wriggles over.
Well, when it's going your way, you take it. The ball from Mata Affa as he collects that on tackle 5. They get a little bit of luck there, but this ball over the top there from Liam Harris.
How has he done that?
The finish there from Ben Jones-Bishop.
Well, we keep saying it, 37 years of age. Ben Jones-Bishop is still going strong. We must say happy birthday, by the way, to Luke Yates, who's turned 31 today. York in possession then, and Nico Williams, who was instrumental in York getting that first try just a few moments ago. Xavier Var running at Harrison and Curry. Field again. Tackled by Stone and Harrison. As Richardson sends the dummy away out wide to the right-hand side. They're finding a bit of space here. They're finding a lot of space here. They could be all the way. Matafa, has he got space? He's got support. He has. And York Knights with Deneve Barmforth, from being 16 points down, are all of a sudden really back in this game.
Oh boy, did they need that. And it was a break down the right-hand side of the field, and they just sliced through the Wolves' defence. And Deneve Barmforth gets his first try, and a really important one as well in the context of this game. You just see here, they ship the ball out to the right-hand side. Richardson to Harris, out the back to Mata Affa, who's able just to get through Danny Walker. And then the support there. There's a little bit of work to do once again here, but he sells the big pump. And Deneve Barmforth just has to race away at top speed. 10 metres with no one in front of him. And York completely against the run of play. 3 minutes ago they were out of this almost at 16-0. Now they're back within 6. Kick to come.
I tell you what a burst of pace that was from Mata Affa.
Oh, he's quality, isn't he? He's had a bright start. 21 carries, 157 metres last week. And he's just cut the left edge open of the Wolves, and Danny Richardson converts, and in the blink of an eye, Fraser, don't you just love Super League? We're back on again.
We love it. We absolutely love it. 4 points now, the difference. York seemed dead and buried a few minutes ago, and now they are well and truly back in the game thanks to a piece of speed from Taumat Arfa.
It was good shape from the centre of the field almost. They load up the right-hand side. And a neat bit of work there from the full-back to Self-Fulis and Taylor Ray.
Nofaluma then gets us back underway, and now Xavier Var, and that's really picked up the atmosphere inside here once again and quietened down those 1,500 who've come from Warrington.
Well, maybe you spoke about Sam Burgess at the start of the game, perhaps not happy with performances. He's seen something in there, and again, 2 soft tries. He'll be furious at that.
Yeah, I think there'll be plenty to be said in the sheds at half-time, which is still a good 15 minutes away. As Vaughan carries it again for York.
Well, this crowd are certainly now. So the crowd are certainly entertained now. Danny Richardson with a kick from 45 out.
Taylor Ray once more, eager to run at defenders. Gets his shorts almost taken off him there.
An important tackle from Vaughan. It really had to be. Fulis met by McShane and Var.
That was the old campaigner against the young whippersnapper, wasn't it?
It needed doing, otherwise he was gone.
Josh Smith for Warrington. Walker again quickly. to Williams. Williams upended in the tackle before. Walker manages to find Sipley, who's come on as a substitute. Sneed, kick to the corner again for everybody to race after. It's well taken again by Ben Jones-Bishop.
Great end to the set for us. These carries are difficult ones coming out of backfield. Sam Wood there just trying to make himself as small as he can. Cal Williams.
You mentioned Sipley, who's come on there. Kalepi Tanganoa is on as well, and if you look at the strength of the bench that Warrington have got alongside Sam Powell and Joe Philbin, that's a pretty strong substitutes bench to choose from for the Warrington Wolves. Shane has it at the moment now and finds Xavier Var. Who is Sipley involved in the tackle. Booted forward again for Warrington to bring back through Josh Smith. What a turnaround in this game. It's Sneed finding Toby King.
I'll tell you what it does do, it gives the York players an awful lot of belief. From 16-0 to now back within a score. Kalepi Tanganoa now on the field, so big bodies out there. You mentioned the bench for us. Well, here's Ben Curry out the back. Stone,
one of the try scorers. Scorer of the opening try, in fact, for Warrington. As Walker gets it away to Curry. Yates goes down in the tackle. Eventually, Curry again looking to go for the line himself, but just a few yards short. Walker looking to try and take advantage of that 6 again that they got just a few moments ago. Walker again goes wide to his left-hand side. The ball is loose. It bounces around all over the place. They've done well here to try and keep it alive. Kick forward from Sneed, going to the corner, and Matt Arthur will defuse that one just a couple of metres out from his line.
A real scratchy end to the set there for us. A couple of loose balls in there, but Sneed does ever so well just to roll it again into that corner and challenge York with some difficult carries once more. We look to move the ball again to this left-hand side. Nofaluma stands up the centre.
Gaps are there if they can find him. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, Kyle. The York players will be buoyed by the fact that there are gaps here and there in this Warrington defence. It's just a case of trying to find them. Justin Sangare, and a big heavy tackle going in from Joe Philbin.
It was just the first 15 minutes for us. They just got out-muscled. They seemed to fix that up. A spiral kick here from Richardson.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, look out.
They could be gone here. They picked it up through Nickel Williams. They need some support though. Hasn't quite arrived, but all of a sudden, York Knights are on the prowl once again. McShane Gets it out. Richardson looked as if he was going to kick. Matafa now. Matafa going for the line again.
Oh, it's over.
Unbelievable. Tao Matafa. He was so involved in one of the previous tries. This time he goes over himself. And York Knights have turned this game on its head.
Wow. Fraser, this York team had no right to get out of that bottom corner and roll down this end of the field. Of course, Kai Taylor-Ray, the young fullback, gives them an opportunity through spilling the ball, but take nothing away from this York outfit. Again, I'll go back to what I said. I thought they were completely gone, dead and buried in this contest. How foolish was I to even think that? Because Matafa, who's had some fantastic pieces of play in this opening 29 minutes, created the second try, but then on this occasion just snaps hard off his left foot, gets rid of Sipley, gets rid of Walker, and able to get that ball down. That's a wonderful score, it really is. He breaks tackles, does Matafa. He carries out a backfield, and George Williams having some stern words with his group.
What a game.
What a game.
What a game this is. Half an hour gone, and more drama than you can shake a stick at, as Danny Richardson has the chance now, would you believe, to put York Knights ahead, and he has.
Well, this wasn't in the script. Warrington heading into this one as huge favourites. But this team of York, I said they were spirited. And to come back from 16-0 down, not care or worry about the scoreboard and just keep playing, keep turning up. And Matafa gives York the lead. Only a slight lead, 2 points. But it completely changes what he may be saying 9 minutes' time.
What a topsy-turvy game this is turning out to be. I'm just looking at the possession stats as well, because Warrington have had 57% as they lose the ball. Here again, York Knights. And it's like a bar of soap out there at the moment.
Well, it's errors. Errors that have led to some points. Sangaria, just the pass there from Nofaluma, maybe just on the right shoulder of Sangaria. We saw Warrington for their first score from a similar position from the scrum to be able to set up the first try. Again, they load that side of the field with four plays, three on this left edge.
Well, you daren't take your eyes off this game, because you've no idea what's going to happen next. Warrington on the attack. Toby King lunging for the line.
That's great work from Harris out of the scrum.
Kai Taylor-Ray going for the line again himself. It's held up by three York Knights defenders. Taylor-Ray rolls it out. Danny Walker finding Sneed in towards Ben Curry. They get another 6 here as well. More pressure on the York line. Walker shapes to go for Sneed eventually. Now Williams with a short pass out to Hopoate. Hopoate brought down. Warrington can smell another opportunity here as Williams sidestep back into Philbin. Philbin trying to steal an extra couple of metres. Getting his side closer and closer. Walker once more. Goes back to Sneed. Sneed to Stone. Stone hanging his way through the line again. And Sam Stone gets a double for Warrington Wolves. A carbon copy almost of his first try. Skipping his way through the line. And tries are raining here.
Yeah, it's a you score, we score in the last couple of minutes, isn't it? Matafa gets the lead, and then in a blink of an eye, Sam Stone gets over for his second. Again, off the back of an error, that Sangaria error. You just see here, just takes his eye off the football, spills it. Disappointing after scoring points, but Sam Stone, Danny Richardson with some really poor defence on the right edge back rower there, tries to go really low, gets brushed off. But again, it's usually two defensive errors, Fraser, that lead to a try. The first one from Danny Richardson, and then Deneen Barnforth gets beat on his inside shoulder. Granted that he's covering across. And Sam Stone's able just to get the ball down once more, and it's Warrington now who hit back. Mark Sneed with a pretty ordinary kick. You would imagine it's going to be 22-18.
Well, it's been an absolutely bonkers game so far. Terrifically entertaining to watch if you're a neutral. We hope you're enjoying it at home. But who on earth knows what is going to happen next? There's a fella who knew how to kick a good goal every now and then. Stefan Rashford, part of the coaching team here these days.
Oh, just as we get that next look at the try here, just look at Danny Richardson's tackle selection, if you like. He just goes low. And there's opportunities once again. Defence hasn't really been at its key tonight for both sides.
Well, if you'd have said to me at the start of the game that with 5 minutes to go in this first half, there'd be 40 points on the board,
you wouldn't have thought, would you?
No one would have believed it. And an awful lot of play still to go.
Oh no!
Sipley it is, who also had an interesting game against Wakefield last week. Scored a try and got sin-binned. Made 4 tackle busts. It was an eventful game for him.
Well, he brings some power up front, doesn't he? Nearly 100 games in the NRL with the Sea Eagles. But where's the Primrose and Blue now? Ben Curry just edges over into York's half.
Walker. Short ball into Kai Taylor-Ray, who, as you can see, is spending an awful lot of time coming forward from the fullback position to join the attacking line. Sneed. Another big kick. Ben Jones-Bishop underneath it. Kept his eyes on that one all the way into his hands. Harris gets it out wide. Latafa pinching his way into the Warrington defence. Faluma. And Richardson gets it back out quickly. Barmforth waiting at dummy half. Richardson's kick. Backpedaling, good work from Josh Smith.
Richardson looked like he wanted to set up there for the 40-20, but doesn't quite get the connection on it. And the offload's into the hands of King.
Not sure King was expecting or reading that there. It seemed to be a bit of a surprise as the ball came out of the attempted tackle. Catalans have hit back against Lee. It's 6 apiece between those two sides now. Well, that's a poor scoreline by comparison to this game, isn't it?
Well, the contest is still very much alive. Only 4 points in it. As Warrington look again to explore this left-hand side.
Sneed into the hands of Williams. Williams looking for the offload again, but Harris quick to wrap his arms around and stop him. Philbin, always happy to run at defenders. Did he spill the ball there? Do you think he did? The referee spotted it, and York will get the ball back.
Joe Philbin.
That's my opinion.
On 249 appearances for Warrington. Just spills that ball. Comes out before the weight's added on him. A loose carry from the Irish international, Joe Philbin.
Plenty more coming up over the course of the weekend. 2 matches tomorrow. And of course, 2 on Sunday as well, as we complete round 4. And York on the attack once more with Sam Wood. Ball back in through the middle 4. Ben Jones-Bishop. Barmforth waiting just behind him. Nikhil Williams. 3 in the tackle to push him back. On this occasion from Warrington. Barmforth. Richardson handing it off for McShane.
It's important for York just to complete this set, defend the next one, and go in at this scoreline. Although they're behind on the scoreboard, I think overall they're going to be bound to be happy that they're still in this game.
Referee's blowing the whistle again here.
Well, mind you, they might be thinking, let's go and get another try here.
Well, you wouldn't put it past them. The way this half has gone, expect the unexpected. But certainly the confidence that they will have gained from hitting back from the position they were in to where they are now will be huge. Harris with the quick handoff to Xavier Varr. And here they are now deep inside Warrington territory, 20 metres from the line. McShane finding Sengari, but he hands it off instead over the top. They're going in towards the corner. No Faluma. 2 tries for him on debut last week, but he's been dragged towards the line. Surely the referee will bring that one back. This is another part of the refereeing that we've been told about. The tackle was made fairly early on, and then they picked him up and tried to drag him towards the line, and they're not allowing that this year.
I think they are on this occasion, because the scrum head and feed's gone to the Wolves.
Well, surprised by that. And I think that's probably why there's a few looks on some of the York players.
Yeah, but he's got to find the floor. That's his.
It was a big call for it
from Harris. Yeah, I honestly expected that would have been called earlier.
But I'll tell you what, if you flip it on its head, there was 5 shirts underneath that ball, and the ball gets floated over the top from Richardson. And I'll be pleasing from a Warrington perspective that the numbers were there as the half-time hooter goes here. We've waited 40 years for these two to lock horns once again, and the first 40 has served up a decent contest in terms of the scoreboard.
Well, York Knights were absolutely dead and buried after the first 20 minutes or so. That's certainly how it looked, but somehow they managed to turn this game completely on its head. It's going to be Warrington who are going to get us underway in the second half. Just waiting for Liam Moore to blow his whistle. Incidentally, just to clear up a little incident we saw just before half-time, where we saw one of the York players being dragged towards the sideline and then the ball being given to Warrington. Now, I certainly thought, and Kyle was in agreement, that that kind of thing probably wouldn't be allowed as much this season, given the edicts that had come from the refereeing department. Here you see it right now, but we are told that Mark Applegarth did grab hold of Liam Moore, metaphorically, so to speak. He wanted to have a quick word with him just to find out some clarity on that ruling. So we don't know exactly what words were exchanged there, but it was all friendly, we understand. But Mark Applegarth, as you can understand, probably just wanting a little bit of clarity on exactly what was going on there.
Yeah, for sure, because there was an opportunity there, really, just to go after Warrington, perhaps post a point on and then lead this first half, but it wasn't to be. Liam Moore decides that it was a turnover, and York just getting through a decent opening first set, and now really looking to restrict the meters as Toby King spins out of that and gets his side a quick play. The ball fuel is coming now.
Been such an exciting, entertaining, but I suppose if you're one of the coaches, a maddening first half, because the way that the two defences have been exposed so often, I can imagine that neither coach will be entirely happy with the way their sides have gone about their business. I think Mark Applegarth possibly might be slightly happier, considering the fact they were so many points behind in such an early stage of the game, that they managed to fight their way back in.
Yeah, Mark Applegarth will certainly be the more happier. You know, this York side are on half of the central distribution money, aren't they? You know, they've got to put a squad together, again, on half of the funds, and their side are showing commitment, togetherness. Yes, there have been some questionable tackles that have led to some of Warrington's tries, but their tenacity to come back and be in this contest. Sam Burgess, of course, should be, and would have been hoping to be further ahead.
Xavier Var takes the tackle midway inside York territory. Justin Sangare now. So Curry goes in with the tackle. It's a big tackle goes in there on Liam Harris, and some of the York fans not liking the way that Ben Curry went at that, thinking it was a little bit too late.
Well, Liam Moore again waving this one away. There's not a lot in that, Fraser, to be fair. It's, you know, it's just marginal as the ball leaves the foot.
Marginal. Warrington in possession then. Big barnstorming run from Hopawate. Walker quickly. And here is the big fella. It's off Sipley. Quickly again. So speedy at the ruck. Warrington as Walker gets quickly back to his feet. Sneed now with the kick. Straight into the breadbasket of Ben Jones-Bishop, and he starts his way off on a run, and he's gone through a couple of tackles. Nicely gaining himself plenty of metres for his side.
Yeah, poor kick chase defence there from the Wolves, that left edge. Ben Jones-Bishop just able to get on the outside of Philbin and just pinch 15 metres further forward. And what that does is it means that play 3 is almost a Yorksider straight into Warrington's half once more. Sangare looking for the offload, finds one as well. Bamford.
Lovely stuff this from York.
Oh.
And then it goes to ground. Jesse D will be absolutely pig sick of that.
It was a decent offload. Bamford evading Curry. Harris just dumping the ball on the inside, and D just can't take it in. They're disappointed with that error.
Just bouncing off his chest. And a little bit of respite for Warrington as York Knights were marauding forward there. It's been end-to-end stuff in this opening few minutes of the second half, as it has been through the entire game so far. Absolutely breathless from both sides. Kai Taylor-Ray has been one of the big stars for Warrington in this first 44 minutes. Sipley now pumping the legs. And the referee's blown the whistle again here, and this time it's a penalty against Warrington. Well, they're going to challenge it by the sounds of things. Challenge for the knock-on. So for the first time this evening, which is quite incredible to actually say, we'll be hearing from the video referee, James Fallon.
Captain's challenge. Warrington challenging the on-field decision of a knock-on. They claim there's been a ball steal attack.
We have a captain's challenge. Warrington are challenging the decision of a knock-on. Okay, so playing from here, we can see multiple players involved in the tackle. Playing it through. Just looking at the actions of Sangare. We can see his hand on the ball. This is our best angle. See a flick of the wrist here, constituting a ball steal. I've made my decision.
Well, on this occasion, the challenge is successful.
Yeah. Look, I don't see a flick of the wrist there from Sangare. I just see him trying to pull his arm out of the ball, but without that flick of the wrist. James Vella, he's the official and expert who sees that. And Warrington have the ball again here. They're going to start this set 25 metres away. Kalepi Tanganoa as a dummy runner.
Massive opportunity now for the Wolves to try and put themselves a bit more distance from York, as Sneed gets it down the line to Williams. Here's the double try scorer, Sam Stone. He's done that 3 times in his career so far, but he's never had a hat-trick. Here's Curry getting it back to Sneed, in towards Tanganoa. If you were talking about a battering ram of a player, then Kalepi Tanganoa has to be it. Walker goes short. Sneed with a pass out the back door. Opawate didn't read it. Takes it at the second attempt. Walker once more. Curry back inside. Flicked off. Back towards Williams. Williams waiting for support. Goes for the grubber kick. Everybody piling forward here. York do a good job there of smothering the ball just over their own line.
Yeah, it was important there, wasn't it? Jesse D making up for his error earlier on. It was a knee kick from Williams, perfect way. Kalepi Tanganoa in pursuit. Jesse D taking no chance there, collects that ball, and with that, he'll have to defend 6 more here. Go short.
Harris goes with a short one. And they've got it back here to Nico Williams, and they want to play it quick here, York. Trying to put real pressure on this Warrington line. Sangare will be desperate to atone for that error just a few minutes ago. Field. Barnforth waiting just behind him. Sangare again.
Oh, loose.
Ball's come loose once more. Warrington will pick it up, and Halpawate coming away with it now.
A sloppy mistake there from the Frenchman, just trying to promote the ball. And now Joe Philbin edging closer and closer to York's line here. 15 away.
York bringing him down as it's gone to the left side this time for Ben Curry. Two in the tackle once more, and a third coming in to help out. Walker looking for the short ball, finding Williams, crash ball for Williams, and George Williams goes over for Warrington Wolves. And after all the exquisite excitement that we've seen of some of the tries tonight, well, that one was route one, simple as you like.
Yeah, again, common theme tonight, sloppy defence off the back of a sloppy error from Justin Sangare. Just tries to promote this ball, doesn't quite nail his execution here. He has to, sometimes you've got to wear your medicine as a front rower. Halpawate pounces on the loose ball, and George Williams there just gets in between two players. Far too easy in Harris. The short ball there. And D. And the England skipper gets his first try of 2026. It's 26 points to 18. And the 8th try scored by George Williams. Applegarth just a little bit concerned about how his side have started this second half. A couple of mistakes in there, Fraser. A penalty as well.
The pendulum swings once more. And now a chance for Mark Sneyd to increase the gap to 10 points. Sneyd hits the woodwork. Wow. Well, I tell you, it's something to do with me. This is the 4th game I've done, and in every single game I've done commentary on this season, at some point somebody has hit the woodwork.
Well, we'll blame you once again for this one. 26-18.
You would not have expected Mark Sneyd to miss that.
Certainly not. 8 points in it. York have been down this road before. See what they've got here in the last half an hour of this game.
Tangano, Sipley rather, for Warrington Wolves. Boate now bouncing off defenders and being shoved back. So much spirit and life in this York Knights defence. And being roared on every step of the way by the home support, and they're being tested here.
George Williams supporting there. The ball was on. Danny Walker 40-20 as he got the legs.
It's going closer and closer, but that will eventually be picked up. And Matt Arthur will come with it. Massive hit goes in on Tao Matt Arthur from George Williams.
He threw everything at him there, the Williams.
Well, you could do with 4 pairs of eyes to be able to watch everything that's going on this game, because we can see that in back play, I think that's
it's Paul Vaughan.
Paul Vaughan, who's got a shoulder
and Paul McShane
problem by the looks of it. Vaughan is on his haunches, just being looked at by the doctor. Paul McShane is also there, and he's taken a knock to the head. Paul Vaughan looks in real trouble here.
Yeah, he looks in all sorts of pain, doesn't he? That right shoulder. Just see the contact there between the two, and the two heads come together, and Paul McShane, I must say, he does cop quite a large melon there off Paul Vaughan. Of course, York next week face Keighley here at home in the Cup, and then a difficult trip away to Wigan, followed by home at Wakefield. Just going to hope that Paul McShane's okay.
Well, he's got back into his line, and McShane is back on his feet. let's hope that McShane is okay. 2 more games coming up tomorrow: Toulouse versus Wigan, and of course St Helens versus Bradford. And then 2 further on Sunday as well. Leeds versus Castleford. And of course Huddersfield up against Hull KR. How on earth will Hull KR respond after what was pretty miserable weekend for them last week in Las Vegas?
Well, the green card's been shown here to Paul McShane, so York are going to have to complete the next 2 minutes without him.
McShane has to leave the field to get medical treatment, whether he likes it or not, after that clash there. But York will get us back underway. I would love to know what on earth is going through Mark Applegarth's mind at the moment after what has been such a topsy-turvy game.
Oh, look, I don't think he'll be panicking just yet. As long as they can keep this scoreline at this gap, really, any more than 8 points, I think he'd be concerned that the game may go away from him.
Well, there were 2 scores down in the first half, and they came back from that.
I don't think Warrington will let that happen twice, Fraser. I'll happily be proven wrong.
Walker again quickly for Curry, and now Philbin.
Good work there from Sam Wood.
Walker, quick as you like, streaking away here. Danny Walker eventually brought down. This is the last one. Williams looking for the kick to the corner, goes for it. Faluma nicely underneath it.
It was the right idea from Williams there, just to lift that kick over it. York were all over it.
Matafa. Richardson gets it away. Nico Williams. Neve Barnforth this time coming in at dummy half. Martin in the tackle. Barnforth again, and Richardson with a kick to the corner. Well, that bounced awkwardly before Josh Thewley's got his hands on it.
Good work there from Danny Walker, just to put some pressure on Danny Richardson and just rush that kick. Hopawate, who's carried the ball strongly out of backfield, just gets over to the more central area.
Bouncing off tackles all over the place. Oh, but Hopawate. Smith in the tackle. Took a bit of a whack for his troubles there as well by the looks of things. King rolls it back to Walker again. Curry gets it out to Williams. Down the line for Kai Taylor-Ray. This time York do manage to stop the young fullback. Sneed's kick is a high one. Leaping like a salmon there. Tao Matafa to put his name on that and pouch it. Faluma. McShane showing no ill effects after that crack that he had a little earlier, and back on the pitch. Here's Vaughan, also looks to have recovered from what was worrying him as far as his shoulder was concerned. McShane again, hoist out to Richardson, down the line again. Richardson's hoisted kick, this time going right for the corner. Kai Taylor-Ray let it bounce again, and it almost did him a mischief there. Here he comes though, Kai Taylor-Ray. Terrific run from the youngster. Over on the far side. Has he got the space and has he got the pace? He's still going here, Kai Taylor-Ray. This is brilliant from the youngster. Absolutely sensational run.
Oh, such great balance, such great speed. York are in trouble here.
Quickly turning defence into attack, and York are on the ropes here as Sneed out wide all the way over to Toby King. Needs some help, needs some support, and the tackle is completed 20 metres from the line, but they've got plenty of opportunity here as Yates, the birthday boy, tackled just short of the 10-metre line. Walker again, wide out to Williams. Williams getting it in short, looking for Harrison to go over here from short space. Incoming comes to Curry. Curry's got it down. He thinks he's scored here. Referee agrees. And in quick succession, Warrington pushed themselves further and further away from the York Knights.
Well, Ben Curry gets the plaudits, but it was the work from Kai Taylor, the blistering speed and the presence of mind just to try and create something out of nothing. And therefore, Ben Curry gets over for his 100th Warrington try. 317th game tonight for Ben Curry. But it was the young man, Kai Taylor, just gets round Danny Richardson and beats him there. And you're just thinking that he's almost going to do the unthinkable and finish this off himself. And a little ankle tap just denies him about 15 metres away from another sensational break from Kai Taylor before the ball to Ben Curry. Again, using the post as his friend. And scores his 100th try. 15 seasons for Ben Curry. 31-year-old. It's a milestone try in the Primrose and Blue.
And it has put them 12 points in front of York Knights. As Mark Sneyd prepares to take this kick, but is that going to be 12 points too much now?
I think so.
For York?
Yeah, I think so. I think York will get another purple patch in this. But I just cannot see Warrington letting up. In fact, if anything, I can see them going on and scoring a few more tries here. Mark Sneyd converts, 32-18. Kai Taylor, there's nothing that excites you, or should excite you, more than a young talent with raw pace, getting people's backsides out of the chair, wishing him on. A quality young player. Again, doesn't quite deal with the high ball. It was a aspiring one, it was difficult, but this is just brilliant. Sensational to watch.
Watch him go. Absolutely loves it. And Ben Curry finishing it off. York have got possession back here, have they? Yes. Referee says play on. Griffin has come on as a substitute for York Knights, adding a bit more oomph up front. Barmforth quickly off into the hands of Jack Martin. Martin getting an extra couple of post-contact meters. There's Barmforth again. Barmforth going for it himself there. Can he turn his way round and spin off the tackle? He can't. Warrington just about managed to keep him at bay.
Good defence there from Taylor. Ben Curry again. A looping ball over the top to McShane.
High hoisted ball for him. Another one here as Ben Jones-Bishop. Can he find the space in the corner? 3 Primrose and Blue shirts come in to try and knock him down. Matahafa gets it away quickly into the hands eventually of McShane. Grubber kick forward. It's taken a deflection. They might get it back here. They have. Harris waiting for some help. Finds it in the shape of Griffin. Griffin now, and now Harris away to the left flank. Nikhil Williams running out of space and up a blind alley here. Gets the offload away. It's pinball here for the York Knights as McShane once again finding Jesse D. They're still a good 15 metres away here as Sam Wood gets it to the left flank for McShane. And again, here's Paul Vaughan. Couple more metres for the big fella. Barmforth goes to his left flank. McShane down the hands of Richardson once more. Griffin upended. This is great defence from the Warrington Wolves. Matahafa quickly for Richardson. McShane again into the hands of Harris. Harris waiting for some support. Clipped over the top here for Sam Wood. Wood, can he wriggle away from the defenders? Gets the ball away with the offload to D. Finding Matahafa. It might come to Vaughan. It has come to Vaughan. Oh, I don't believe it. He scores against his former club when yet again they look like they might be dead and buried. What a comeback again from the York Knights.
Oh, goodness me, there's a quarter of this game gone, and I think I should leave this stadium because I didn't think there was a chance for this York side to get back in this contest, but my word, they've struck back, and it just had to be, didn't it? Paul Vaughan returning against his old side And the York Knights, they just keep it alive, don't they? Liam Harris to D. Sam Wood, who gets in between again, some ordinary defence. He's able to promote that ball out, and then the middle just come flooding through. Mataafa with a neat little pass there, and Paul Vaughan just able just to get rid of George Williams through the centre of the field and score a try that brings this game back into a one score.
What a game this is.
Well, that's me getting a little bit too excited because there's still 8 points in this. I can't keep control of this. It's crazy.
Absolutely incredible. Oh my word. It's just incredible stuff.
54 points scored.
8 points in it.
The disappointing part for York is his 24 points should be enough to win a game at this level. But take nothing away from them, they do not go away. And Paul Vaughan there with his second try, he scored one in round 2 against Leeds. And a penny for both of them men's forwards, Mark Applegarth, Sam Burgess. What on earth is going through their head?
The roller coaster that is rugby league.
No.
Absolutely incredible. Catalans have hit the front against Lee, by the way. 20 points to 10, they now lead.
Well, Lee are in all sorts at the moment, aren't they? Loads of injuries. Haven't quite got going.
Well, York have certainly got going in this second half again now. There's Nufaluma. And you certainly would not put it past them at this stage to score another. But Paul Vaughan, only a few minutes ago, having taken a real whack to the shoulder and looking like he was in all sorts of trouble, turning up to score the try and give York Knights real impetus once again.
Well, there's another difficult kick for Ray to deal with. He lets it bounce over the sideline. So York will start defending against the Wolves here, 20 metres away from their own end. And it's important that this York outfit, that they keep Warrington Wolves at bay. Keep them away from their try line here. Go hunting.
3 of them hunting for the York Knights in the tackle there. Williams, and look who's there again, it's Vaughan once more.
Well, he's been massive tonight.
Well, you expected he would put in an extra special shift for this occasion, and he certainly has done that tonight.
There's a late hit there, Martin on Curry.
Taylor Ray finding Hopoate. 3 in the tackle again for York Knights, but they're over the halfway line now, Warrington. Yates. Powell now, who's come on as a substitute with Sneed going for the corner. Nicely jumped and taken there by Nufaluma. Mataafa just behind him, waiting for that ball to come out. There was a player stuck in the tackle there. Ben Jones-Bishop. The referee gives a penalty. Too much time in the tackle there.
Yeah, great work there from the right-sided winger to get across, get his carry, fight to play the ball, and the Wolves just hang in there too long. There's just too much time in there. It's a gift for York. It's D.
Can they take it? That's the question. Half-time.
You just see there that the Warrington Wolves are still edging the metres in terms of rolling down the field, but there's not a lot between everything else. But it's York here who are trying to finish this game in a positive manner. They're chasing the board. 8 points in it.
Griffin. Cal Williams waiting.
6 again.
Just behind him, 6 more. Richardson, McShane. And all of a sudden, the pendulum is swinging once again. Ben Jones-Bishop. More down just by the sideline. This time the Wolves players don't opt to try and drag him over. Jack Martin. Tackles in the back here for the York Knights. As Barmford finds McShane, short again for Paul Vaughan. Vaughan looking for the offload. He elects to take the tackle. Barmford again, McShane. Such quick hands here from the York Knights as Josh Griffin goes down in the tackle. Little chip forward from Richardson. Oh! Come to Harris! It has come to Harris! Would you believe it? What a game this is turning out to be! York Knights once again. Sensational stuff, and they narrow the gap to just 4 points.
I'll tell you something, Fraser. This is smart football from Danny Richardson. The tackle for kick from Liam Harris. Just supporting. None of the Wolves are expecting this. Kai Taylor-Ray caught in the defensive line. A neat, wonderful, soft, delicate kick from Danny Richardson. And Liam Harris. My word, he brings this contest back to within 2. Danny Richardson with a kick that's surely going to convert to bring this to 32 points to 30.
And he has.
Wow. I didn't think there was enough ink left in the pen on this story to keep on being written. There's a couple of pages left here, Fraser.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Drop goal?
Well, maybe not quite yet.
Before the end of the game.
Oh, before
goal.
Maybe so.
York Knights love a drop goal. I mean, we know that.
Yeah, there's 14 minutes left, and mentioned that York would have a purple patch. And I also thought that Warrington Wolves couldn't allow the same mistakes to happen and let this team back into it, but they have.
The fans here have just found another notch that has electrified them, and the atmosphere pushed up just that little bit further here at the LNER Community Stadium. And it's the home side who suddenly have found another gear, and my word, they have found their way back into this game. That's twice now that they've been dead and buried, supposedly.
Oh, it's the third time in a season as well, isn't it? Round 1, of course, and then last week as well. And they've got some numbers out here. It's a decent read there, and it had to be as well. No matter Affa. And if you like your storylines, make sure you follow the York Knights.
I still don't know how this one's going to end. Here's Paul Vaughan, and we've still got, what, 12 and a bit minutes remaining in this game. Loads of time yet. There might be another bit of drama here.
Ball's knocked on by York.
It's knocked on by York, so are they going to challenge this one?
Time's off.
I think they are. So, yeah.
Mate, we have a captain's challenge.
So once again, time to hear from video referee James Vella.
Of a knock-on. They're claiming there's been a knock-on prior to that. What's that mean? Oh, we'll have a look, mate, yeah. That's what it's for, isn't it?
We have a captain's challenge. York are challenging the decision of a knock-on. They're claiming a knock-on by Warrington prior. So we see Vaughan's in possession, multiple plays in the tackle, playing on here. Okay. And he offloads the ball, looking to determine if there is a touch here by Warrington. Looking for the best available angle. Camera 9 is our best available angle. So we're just looking at our best available angle here to determine whether there's a touch by Warrington. Camera 9, please. Yep, yeah, let's play it through to the offload so we can speed it up to the offload. We can speed it up, please. This is our best and only angle that will show me whether there is a touch here by Warrington. Okay. So we're just waiting for the point when the ball goes near Harrison. So we've got the offload here. It's coming. This will be our best and only angle here. Okay. So does this touch Harris? Yeah, keep going here, please, match director. Keep playing it through. We're not at that point yet. I need to see that ball released. Now, keep going, please, match director. The ball hasn't been released by Vaughan yet. Okay, I've reviewed all available angles. The review is inconclusive. The on-field decision will stand, and they'll retain their right to challenge.
Challenge is inconclusive. Nothing shows it on the angles. Yeah. You retain your challenge, though. Okay. Challenge inconclusive.
Very, very difficult to see. It appeared there may have been the tiniest little touch in the pass there from James Harrison, but
here we go, boys, please.
Almost impossible to conclusively say. And as a result, that is inconclusive and
heads down, boys.
Not to the liking of the home fans, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Heads in tight.
Well, it just kills the momentum from York as they enter into the final 12 minutes here. It's Warrington who'll have the ball back now. Kelepi Tanganoa.
I just had another look at the scoreboard there. We've had 62 points scored, Kyle. That's crazy.
And not one video referee decision on a try as well, which is crazy in its own right.
We just had the 2 captains' challenges, and that's been it.
It's been a great game so far.
Curry, one of the try scorers for Williams. And now floating again. Kelepi Tanganoa. Here is Harrison. For the 10-metre line. Powell gets it away, finds Sneed. Sneed running for the line. Quick ball back to Powell again, and now Williams. Chip to the corner. Nofaluma rises and takes it well.
Yeah, great take there from Nofaluma. York starting the set, as they have done so often in this half, from deep inside that bottom left-hand side of the field. And Jones Bishop wanting a quick play of the ball, and he doesn't quite get one.
Let's see whether at this stage York are still capable of recycling the ball upfield so far as to really cause issues for the Warrington Wolves, as they have done so many times so far in this game. Very quickly turning defence into attack.
It's a good kick there from Paul McShane.
Thewlis picking it up. Yeah, Thewlis had to think twice about that.
Smith there just beating Harris, pinching 5 further metres up the field.
Powell waiting behind him. Goes short for Toby King. Harris really trying to get the arm off there. It's Harrison looking for the offload again. Thought better of it in the end. Powell short for Williams. Short again. Trying to push his way through. Sam Stone and offloading into the corner. Thewlis is there. Well, the game goes one way, then it goes the other. It is such a topsy-turvy match. But once more, Warrington Wolves push themselves further in front with just under 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and it's once again, it's Sam Stone, the right edge back rower, breaking through tackles. And this time he has Thewlis just waiting patiently, holding onto his wing. Sam Stone has had some decent touches in this whole game. On that one, perhaps the most important. Soft ball there, gets in between Danny Richardson and Nico Williams. Thewlis dives over. Celebration there.
Great work from Sam Stone there, setting up Thewlis.
Well, there's an important, very important kick coming up here.
Indeed it is. This to make it a 2-score game. At the moment, Mark Sneed is taking his time over this one.
66% tonight with the boot.
I would probably say uncharacteristically low.
Yeah, for a kicker of his quality. I mean, he's had some difficult kicks, hasn't he, over from the touchline. This one is a huge one, isn't it?
He's going to take every second of the allotted minute in the shot clock for this one. Home fans try and put him off as much as they possibly can. Here it comes. and he's found it.
Beautiful. Clutch moment. Mark Sneed delivers. That just really does hurt the home team. And again, I'll say, I've said it all night, ordinary defence on shore, the scoreboard tells you that, nearly 70 points. Mark Sneed, with ice through his veins, adds the extras.
Absolutely crucial kick. And so it is an 8-point game with exactly 8 points left, 8 minutes left to play. What have York Knights got left in the tank here? Well, Thewlis has gone down under this tackle and is getting back to his feet very gingerly indeed. Meanwhile, Lee within 4 points of Catalan Dragons now, 16 points to 20 over at Lee Sports Village. Williams for Warrington. Yates. Powell just behind him. Harrison. Short hands for Liam Byrne. Powell again. Quickly from Sneed, finding Stone. Stone this time doesn't get through. And the ball is handed over.
Yeah, turnover in possession there. Perhaps he would have liked to just dink that kick over. Sam Stone just getting caught in possession. And York have to throw everything at this now.
Is there one last twist in the tail of this game? Deneve Barnforth. Harris again, one of the try scorers for York as Wood goes down in the challenge. Matt Arthur gets it back out for Harris. McShane, Richardson folded up over in the challenge. Short hands for Griffin. Oh, how on earth has he managed to get that out? The referee's blown the whistle because he says that the tackle was called held before the ball came out the back.
Bamford was away, wasn't he? Richardson now with a high kick from 40 away. Taylor Ray underneath it, collects well, McShane straight on him.
Gets clattered for his troubles.
A big take there from Taylor Ray.
Opawate. Look at the extra metres he's managed to claim there. Quickly once more. King shrugging off tackles. Still going, Toby King. This is great work from Warrington Wolves. Kai Taylor-Ray now, who's been box office tonight with some of his movement. Powell finding Sneed. Sneed's kick again. Well taken again. Ben Jones-Bishop, and he's away. He's got some space. He's got some space here, Ben Jones-Bishop. He needs some help though. Running at defenders, still going, and eventually upended, but what a return from Ben Jones-Bishop.
Yeah, just real smart there. Just knowing that Toby King had pressed in too hard and there was space on the outside. Mataafa, McShane, over the top it goes. Here comes Nico Williams. Brought down.
Tackle is completed on Nofaluma as Griffin goes short for Mataafa. And again, they sense an opportunity. Still going here, Mataafa. He can't quite go all the way. But the York fans are baying for blood here as Jesse D is tackled by Harrison. Eventually. Here's Vaughan. Vaughan will fancy a run at it himself. But he's brought down.
Tackle 5.
This is it. Last one. Barnforth goes long to the far side. They're still in possession here, York Knights. Matt Arthur over the top. Nofaluma, can he keep it in? No, he can't. Is it still in play? Is it still in play? Bowed down into the corner. Well, that was all over the place. I think the ball was in touch. But for a moment there, what a scramble.
It was. Bodies everywhere. The aftermath of human rubble. The ball's going to get turned over. Cut out ball there. Nofaluma.
Yeah, I think he had a foot in touch, didn't he?
Yeah. Taylor Ray just getting that palm down anyway. With 3 minutes left.
Well,
and York chasing 8 points.
The game isn't over yet. It is not over yet. Anything could happen still.
Well, I might go
closing in on 3 minutes, but
I might go third time lucky here, Fraser, and say that there isn't a way back here for York tonight.
Wow. You've been proven wrong on the previous 2 occasions. Time ticking. And it's ticking very much in favour of Warrington Wolves at the moment. Harrison. And they'll take as much time as they possibly can here, Warrington, but still bringing it forward with Toby King. Looking for the adventurous long looping pass there, but decided to go for a bit of bulldog instead. This is the last one. King taking his time. Powell and Sneeze going across the ground this time. Make it all that more difficult for Matt Arthur.
7
has gone out. Well, this is it. This is last roll of the dice for York Knights.
Yeah, it is. Look, there's 2 minutes left now here, and it would take something remarkable, something that we haven't seen for some time, if they were to do this. The Wolves have only got 4 more tackles to make, and then they'll leave here tonight, keeping their 100% record in 2026. Of course, they played a game less.
Jack Martin. I've just remembered, Kyle, that you've got to think about your Betfred player of the match. There's been so much going on the pitch. It's hard to know where on earth that's going to go. Mikael Williams waits for it. Here it comes from the hands of Nofaluma. Richardson. Richardson wrestled to the ground. McShane. McShane still waiting for it behind, but Barnforth has gone in for dummy half now. This is it, last chance saloon here for York Knights. Oh, and it's spilled. It's spilled. Jesse D. Oh, and that is it. Surely now that will be game over.
It is. It is. There's no way back here. By the time they form this scrum and turn the ball over, there'll be nigh on 30 seconds left. Jesse D again with another error. He's come up with a couple of them this evening. A spirited effort from York once again. Remember, this is a promoted side, a side that was part-time only a couple of months ago, and they've gone toe-to-toe with some of the big boys in Super League, knocking off Hull KR, knocking off a fancied and improved Hull FC. It hasn't quite got going for them, but a Warrington team that roll into town, and they push them all the way.
Well, those 1,500 Warrington fans behind the goal there have been right royally entertained, but my word, they've been on a heck of a roller coaster this evening as well. I'll tell you what, being a rugby league fan sometimes is not good for your health. But we love it. So, that is it. The hooter has finally gone. It has been a quite incredible game of rugby league. But it is the Warrington Wolves who have come away with the 2 points. 68 points scored in total, but the Wolves have won it by 38 points to 30. What a sensational match.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I rolled in tonight thinking that it was just going to be a one-sided contest, and how wrong was I?